Fired up for this man right here. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Cecil Newton here, senior, also known as Cam's dad. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Molly. And let's get this Panther party started.
Yeah.
Now, this man's awake this morning,
I see where his son gets it. I love it. Congratulations on your son being in the Super Bowl, all his success. Obviously, you played some ball back in your day as well. But Skip calls this the year of Cam. This has really been a breakout year for your son. What factors led to that?
The great evolution of Cam comes from a close-knit family, prayer, character building. I pull him in my laboratory and polish him off at the end of every season, tells him what works, what doesn't work. But there are a lot of people that work with Team Cam that makes him a very refined person that we see today. He's committed to his craft, puts a lot of time in it, and he's a great athlete.
No question.
When you say you polished him off and really addressed what concerns he may have had, coming into this season, what did you do in the off season when it comes to that polishing? That has changed. Obviously, they were 7-8-1 last year. He was 5-8-1 as a starter. Now they're 15-1. That's a huge, huge difference. What was the difference? What did you do?
Contrary to popular belief, as a father, I'm not just necessarily Cam's fan. I'm a person who, I think I'm the orchestrator of building the float that rides in the parade. So with that being said, I really deal with a lot of the critical things, the things off the field, kids, what your image is around kids. They're gonna be haters everywhere. But make sure that you comply with the things that are expected of you. He automatically is a hard worker. He's diligent to, the workouts. He did call all of his receivers up this season early on, I think, to D.C. to work out for 2 to 3 weeks running. I think that bonded them together. When I spoke to him after the travesty of Kevin Benjamin going down, I said, Cam, man, we need to make a big splash. This is a big season. He said, Pop, the answer is already in the locker room. So I think he was committed to what they started out with, and look at where we are now, 15-1, 17-1.
So how much, if anything, did you learn from observing the way Earl Woods handled Tiger Woods' explosive stardom at a young age, and the way Richard Williams handled the explosive stardom of Serena and Venus at very young ages?
I really don't know their intimate story. I'm just a parent, a father, one who has given his love and his commitment to 3 sons, one older than Cam and one that's younger than Cam. And I just spend a lot of time pouring character into them, being a good person. Commit yourself to that which is right, not expecting something for nothing. Don't embrace phony stuff. Be who you are. And this is the product of who Cam is evolving into.
Well, you bring that up. Let me bring this up. You, as a family, y'all have been through a lot. You've been on the record talking about what you've been through, how you fell on your sword for your son.
Sure.
We don't need to get into all of that. Everybody knows what that's about. But ultimately, when he won the Heisman, you were not allowed to be there, national championship, that kind of thing. What is it like for you right now to be here, getting ready to watch your son compete for a Super Bowl championship, considering the moments in his illustrious career beforehand that you had to miss out on because of the controversy involving your son, you and your son?
And I would like to speak on a different platform in greater detail about that investigation. This is not the platform for that. This is Super Bowl 50. But I came to experience greatness. How can you not like and admire the gold standard Peyton Manning? But Cam, I'm expecting him to turn up and give me something to celebrate. Denver Bronco fans, this ain't the year. I'm sorry.
So were you at all concerned about the comment your son made about LeBron James maybe being the Cam Newton of basketball? It was a little audacious, and we discussed it earlier in the show. You good with it?
I don't really follow every article, every interview, because I'm encumbered with so many other things. I just kind of know Cam's heart. He's a resilient kid, wasn't readily embraced, but we're 5 years removed from the draft. We're experiencing a great opportunity to stand before the eyes of America and globally and make an impact on a younger generation, not just the old-footed that is my age, but the younger generation, and they're celebratory. They like action. They like a lot of, antics that goes along with the support of the game.
Well, let me ask you this, sir. Cam was in the news, not just for football, but also because of his comments about who he is,
okay,
what he stands for.
Okay.
Not just being a quarterback, but being an African-American quarterback who doesn't want to be perceived as just an African-American quarterback. And obviously, headlines and all of that stuff have pretty much dominated the news cycle over the last few days or so.
Correct.
Your thoughts about what your son had to say about himself and who he is, and how folks have reacted to it, responding to his dabbing and all of this other stuff. Some people love it, like myself. Others may not love it so much. Your thoughts about that?
The celebration is part of the game. If that's who you are, Cam, be who you are. I think he was also trying to describe the journey, what he was subjected to early on, and how he has weathered that, and that's to be applauded. We celebrate it. We're glad that he's here, but he's not here by virtue of his performance alone. He's here by a great organization backing him. So, whatever becomes of his comments, we'll live through it, been through a lot of it before, but he is to prove a lot of skeptics wrong on Sunday by saying, I am who I am, and show the world who you are.
What did those skeptics say early on? Give us a few. Do you remember any incidents or details of skepticism about your son?
Skip, let me do it like you do it.
You got that
I love
down.
that.
That was pretty
you know
good.
What? That's the best anybody's ever
pretty
done
good.
me.
Are you kidding me?
So observant.
I mean, seriously. From who his father was, shopping him, to Cam is bad for the league, I wouldn't touch him. And so many people did not readily embrace him, but that was the fuel. That was the fuel
Okay.
that inspired him. And so 5 years removed from the draft, we're here,
Do you believe we all grow, no matter what age?
regardless.
So you talk about what you've done and what so many people have done for your son. Talk to me about what your son has done for you, particularly as his career has evolved and as he has matured into what I consider to be a fine young man that he is, and somebody all of us should be proud of right now. How has he helped you evolve?
I think when he does things that are right and that are admirable by a generation that's coming after us, I think that's my voice in his ear, because it's more important to me than money and fame and all of that. Because my son, my oldest son, had a 4-year stint, wasn't very celebrated, but I love him just the same. So we don't want to just totally get washed out by just this one figure. As a parent, I love all of my sons. I think Cam is doing a wonderful job handing the balls to the kids, celebrating, running around. Charlotte is ecstatic. The Carolinas are ecstatic. So we're just happy to even be here to experience Super Bowl 50.
How much better can your son get as a football player, in your view?
We are only scratching the surface.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. He's a monster.
It's getting started.
What more? What more could we see from him?
I think, Cam is already a physical specimen, has always been a dominant player, played linebacker and fullback at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. So the toughness was bred into him. But he has to continue to grow from the neck up and process stuff. Has done a great job. Coach Shula, Coach Ken Dorsey, of course, Coach Rivera, and the ownership and management team has done a great job. We're just on the cusp of some great things to come with Cam.
Well said.
Well said.
Well, your son's been blessed with a lot this season, but I see the biggest blessing right here is the family and support that he has here with him.
Can I get you to dab with me, Skip, before I go off the stage?
I can't wait for this.
Ready? Ready?